But let's talk about how the SEC fared against other Power Four conferences this past season. Now, we talked a little bit about this in the last episode. We talked about the bowl record, which is a little convoluted because some of that was measured SEC teams playing each other. So we're like, well, let's get a little clarity how we measure up against other Power Four conferences. And really and truthfully, if you look at it, we're about average. Because if you look at the overall record in terms of regular season and bowl games, put those together, SEC is 13 and 13 against other Power Four conferences. So, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on that? I mean, obviously, we talked about bowl records the last episode and kind of hashed those out a little bit, but in terms of how we kind of measure up against other conferences, do you think this is more along the Midland, maybe not time to panic yet, but maybe we got some work to do type of thing? What do y'all think?
I don't think we can panic. I don't foresee this changing too much. I think the days of us being able to say that the SEC is the one dominant conference are probably over in the sense that there's just way more parity. We're seeing, an Indiana who had, if you would have told me in August that Indiana is winning a national championship, I would have been like, oh, you must mean like soccer or like, I don't know, an Olympic sport. No, if you would have said football, I would have laughed at you. But we are seeing conferences, schools that are able to pony up and put together very desirable NIL packages. We're seeing athletes that are starting at other schools that have unlimited transfer ability. And that's allowing places that you didn't think before, like in Indiana, to compete with other schools at a top tier level. It's also getting schools that are top tier losing their recruits. I mean, they're sure they're getting 5-star recruits or 4-star recruits, but are they going to keep them 3 years? Likely not. The days of a student athlete staying at a university for 4 years or even 3 years for that matter are gone. I mean, you're not going to see that very often. It's going to be way more in the other direction that we see them transferring. And whether we like it or not, it doesn't really matter because that's just the way it goes. We're also seeing way more, I think, coaching carousel changes, which then causes the athletes to want to transfer. It's just the cyclical thing that I don't think is going anywhere.
Yeah, and you raise a good point about the dominance of the SEC and how perhaps we may not see. I think we may not see that type of dominance ever again,
I don't think so.
simply because of NIL, transfer portal, all just the new look of the game these days. It's really hard to dominate in that fashion and just keep the talent pooled all in your conference in your top teams in that conference. Yeah, I don't think we'll see that again. Matt, what are your thoughts?
I think Jesse pretty much nailed it on the head. I think in the new era of NIL, it's one of those things where if you've got money and you've got the backing, like you can go out and get, four-star guys, 5-star guys, these blue chip guys that, a team, no disrespect to Indiana, but a team like Indiana 10 years ago wouldn't even sniffed. Well, I say that, but we say that, but then, Mendoza, who won the Heisman and had probably one of the greatest plays in the history of college football in that national championship game, he was a
Hmm.
2-star coming out of college. So, those stars don't always pan out. As a Tennessee fan, I'm well aware of the situation with getting stars in our eyes and then getting a boot in our what. But again, I think that Jesse's on the nose here. I think this is one of those situations where there's so much money involved now. The NIL situation obviously has rewrote the landscape, and I think that that's indicative because the SEC hasn't sniffed a national championship in 3 years at this point. It's been Big Ten all the way, and when you look at us, in contention with the other conferences, we've not fared very well. I mean, I was just looking at this pile of stuff that we got in front of us, and like we're 6-8 against the ACC. And the three of us spent most of this past season running down the ACC and about how they were a weak conference and we didn't even have a winning record against them. Of the
I
Power
will say though,
Four,
remember these conferences have gotten bigger. So schools
mm-hmm,
that used to not play there are now playing there. Schools that we probably would have not played ever being an SEC school, we're now playing a little bit
right.
more because they've joined the ACC or the Big Ten. So that's another thing I think we need to keep in mind.
I'd like to say that
It,
we're undefeated against the Pac-12. I just like to put that out there. So
thank God for that, because I mean,
How
when
embarrassing.
and that kind of plays into what I was just about to say. The only conference that we have a winning record against is in the Power Four is the Big 12 and the Pac-12, and it's like the Pac-12 is the Pac-2, and
right.
and the Big 12 is, it depends on who you're talking about, but not stellar. But the Big Ten's got our number right now. I mean, we're what, 3-4 against them. It's a little under 500, but still, the parity's definitely kind of brought everything down. There's no more McDonald's bags full of cash anymore. So
It's all above the table.
I
yeah,
mean, Nick Saban, I think he said it, and I know people got annoyed about it. I know Big Ten fans got annoyed about it, but it's kind of true. If you think about it, he was saying there is so much more parity because now with NIL, these Big Ten schools that you wouldn't necessarily want to play at. I mean, you have to play in the cold.
Right.
I don't want to. I mean, yes, Michigan's a great school, and
North
they're always going to recruit well.
Northwestern in November is not a pleasant
It's not a
experience.
place you want to play. It's absolutely frigid.
Mhm.
But because you're able to pony up some cash, sure, the kid from Texas or Louisiana might be willing to go play in, 19-degree weather and snow because he's being offered a $2 million deal. It's a little bit different now. And he was saying like that allows them way more ability to get some of those recruits from, a little bit warmer climates to come up there.
It's also interesting to see each of these schools kind of figure out NIL and how to use it, and how you really just kind of need to have an anchor of a coach, like a Signetti. And then if you have kind of that piece figured out, then you can really just kind of go out and get whoever you want. And in their case, it wasn't, like you said, the flashiest players, but they were most of them veterans, lots of experience. They knew what they're
Mhm.
doing, a solid unit of a team that can survive the test of a full season. And so it's interesting to see each year different teams figure out NIL, how to use it. And I think that's why we are seeing such parity, and why we'll continue to see uh, different winners perhaps every year, because every year each school is like, well, hey, what about us? We can do that. Let's figure it out.